Hello friends and family, my name is Skylent, and hopefully you hear in my voice a little bit of sincerity. I open every video up, I think pretty much with hey friends and family, and I mostly cover online games from MMOs to co-op or party games even. And I just love playing games with people and talking about games with people, especially games you play together with people. So today I decided to do a video of something of an emergent genre of cooperative survival games. These are new games that are just out or on early access that you can get into or right here on the horizon. Very soon, these games are coming. They're new, and they focus on cooperative gameplay with survival elements or inspired by popular survival games. And even though historically survival games are known for their hardcore PvP focus, generally, now we got this new breed, which is about that true cooperation. And not just to cooperate to kill other players, but cooperation to fight giant monsters, to survive in treacherous worlds, and to unfold stories together. So the first game that we'll be mentioning today is going to be the game that inspired the entire list, and it's the first of many of this genre. It's actually already fully released. It is a game called Outward. Now, depending on your viewpoint, is it fully released or not, depending on how acceptable you are of certain glitches, game-breaking bugs, etc., it is a smaller team. Outward did release. However, I'm a patient gamer. I'm going to wait a little bit, though I do kind of regret waiting actually so long to play this game because it actually did very well on my channel, even though I just threw up some random videos just kind of shouting it out. This is a game that was very exciting for some reason for a number of players, especially coming from the MMO crowd. We always wanted something, akin to Souls-like gameplay or obviously like Skyrim, but really cooperative and having that sort of darker focus, but with still a big open world. Not to say that Dark Souls 1 wasn't open world technically, but you know what I'm saying. A larger, more open, sandbox-ish almost environment or RPG that we can, have storied adventures with another player, a friend, family, to join us around. So Outward isn't full survival, but it absolutely has survival mechanics, and I think that's intertwined very well with the RPG mechanics, such as having a big focus on the rucksack or the different types of backpacks and the severity of the equipment that you're actually wielding or in your pack, obviously, and then things like the weather effects and the severity of death as well, and what that does to the story progression overall. Outward has a lot of forward-thinking mechanics that overall survival and RPG, I think historically actually always kind of took and chose some certain things between each other. You can look at games like Ark Survival Evolved and almost call it an RPG. I mean, debatably it is. So Outward, really kind of merging the two, I think at least in certain ways, overall, the flavor seems to be received very well. I just think that overall, it just needs a little bit more publicity. Maybe with the next expansion, I would consider it a whole game and jump into it, especially during some sales. But I know many friends who are already having fun with it. Same thing with a lot of games on this list that are early access, even at mixed reviews, which Outward did launch to. That's fine. These games are something newer, and for those who are hungry for that something new, I think a little bit of lack of polish will be fine for us. Especially because it's going to be co-op. That definitely helps the bugs go down a little bit easier. Number 4 on our list of just 5 games, I'm gonna put Hytale, because frankly, it's kind of hard to find games like this, but also, this game is inspired by Minecraft, which was the survival sandbox game. However, I think we all know that Hytale's might be going a little bit in a different direction as well. Minecraft has never really been like a hardcore survival game, though it could be, depending on how you set your server and depending on how you play. And I think Hytale will be the same, but I do know that vanilla Hytale is going to be more focused on kind of an RPG sort of styling, definitely more focused on the online interactions and jumping from like hub town to hub town or, different servers and playing radically different games, which might even look entirely different physics, guns, lasers, and then, yeah, the vanilla experience, though, I think is going to be more akin to like a co-op action adventure style game, but obviously with survival-ish mechanics, maybe? Maybe. We don't know how inspired it's going to be fully from Minecraft, and we don't know what a departure it will be from just calling it a survival game. So it's a little bit dicey throwing it on the list, but I mean, guys, obviously it's inspired by Minecraft. I'm going to put it on the list. Plus, there's always that gimmick where it's like, yeah, you can make your own server. It could be a survival MMO. It could be like a hardcore single-player survival experience. You can do whatever you want in Hytale, but then again, we could throw like Roblox on this list or Dreams or, any sort of game where you make games. Sure, that's cheating, but I'm just saying. Hytale, it has its obvious roots and inspirations, and I think if you're looking for games like what I have on this list, Hytale is probably one that you wanted to know about. So I'm gonna give it my seal of approval, but I'm pretty sure you already know what Hytale was about. If not, I got tons of videos. Everyone's got tons of videos on what Hytale is, basically the gist of what it's about. But anyways, I think it's gonna be Minecraft 2.0, but with a focus on giving players the tools immediately built in to make your own monsters, make your own games, make your own servers, make your own everything, and also at the same time making its vanilla experience a 1.0 full experience, like an actual story or lore at least put into there, an adventure awaiting, and you can do this all cooperatively. So yeah, for best new co-op survival games, I'm putting Hytale. Next up, we have a game called the Warhorn, which I actually have access to, and I need to play on stream sometime. I'll do a video very quickly, but before I even jump into it, just fresh baby-faced, looking at the trailers and things, it seems that Warhorn is a game that is really meant to be played alongside a number of players. Basically, like you jump in with a guild. The Warhorn is a game that's really more action-adventure, questy, and RPG-ish versus just pure survival, like Don't Starve or something like that, DayZ. It is definitely more whimsical, and you can see that immediately, right, from the art style. The really interesting fact about Warhorn is that it really focuses on the building aspect of building and survival games, where you're building up an entire kingdom, actually, from the very ground up. It's like you start with a little village, you got your friends, maybe more and more friends join, bigger and bigger and badder, and that's really the main focus. I remember doing that a few times in some vanilla online Minecraft servers with townie enabled. You start off with a little town, you make a big kingdom, but there's not really many mechanics entwined with that. But the Warhorn, that's the whole concept, and in fact, you're going to be raiding other players' kingdoms, and you can actually have all these NPCs running around. And I'm not really sure what the full scope of the game is going to be, but it's going to be somewhere in between pretty great, pretty large, pretty grand, and epic, full on. So if that's what you're looking for, is like a big open world survival game inspired type of RPG adventure experience, the Warhorn is one of the spearheading games here for this emergent genre. And to also defend why it's on a survival list, I think it's really more about the survival of your kingdom versus your person. So I mean, I don't know really how hardcore it's going to be, but yeah, I think it fits the list. Fight me. Number 2. Let's talk about Nostos, which I'm going to a lot. Maybe not in this video, but in a lot of videos, I'll probably talk about Nostos a lot, more than maybe I should. Nostos is a game that I'm just biasedly looking forward to, mainly because of look at it and listen to it, actually. Link to all these trailers are in the description below. You're gonna wanna click on this one because it sounds amazing. I think overall, the way the trailer is actually portrayed, how it's just kind of how it rolls out very slowly. I think it's going to be a slow burner of a game. I think it's more emotive, and there's some whimsy, there's some darkness as well. There's definitely a lot of mystery, and I want to uncover it myself. So this is going to be a cross-platform PC and VR game, though I want to play it in VR. So if I can just get a little bit of money in that Patreon, I'll jump into that with VR. But regardless, if not, I'm playing this game some way, somehow. Nostos is a game where you're going to be building up bases with other players, and it's more of a survival experience, as there's creatures which are literally ripped from Ghibli films. But anyways, the art style is Breath of the Wild and Ni no Kuni, and definitely Ghibli inspired, but there are scenes, monsters, and world design that's yeah, we watched that Ghibli movie too. Okay, and I'm actually really fine with that. This is a game that is going to be, the world building is built into the world, so kind of Soulsian and poetic like that. And it's just going to be a game where it's really focused on you playing with your friends as you are just trying to make it through the world and seeing what's going on with the world, what happened to the world, and where you can go from there, which seems to be there's some really cool technology or magitech. I don't know if it's going to be steampunky. It seems kind of rune-punky. I don't know if there's difference if you guys get really picky about that kind of stuff, but in terms of just sound, art, aesthetic, hashtag mood, I gotta say, I am so in the mood for Nostos. And now the finale, the game that you wanted to see when you clicked on this video. Now you probably didn't know this game existed, and if you didn't, smash that like button, of course. But Towers is a game that I think we all see now that we do see it looming in the distance, and it kind of dwarfs a lot of what we've seen so far in a lot of ways. I mean, maybe not for the pure survival gamers, maybe not even for the pure building gamers, but for this weird genre of co-op building and survival games, Towers is the weirdest, wackiest, and potentially the most epic. It looks like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus mixed, I don't know, with Avatar, just weird flora and fauna. It looks like there's eyeballs coming out of the sand, rocks have wings, and everything is just so freaking strange. I can't even say it's this is so anime, because it's not. In other games I could say this is where this is from, that's where that is from, but Towers seems like it's coming from like a surreal painting of sorts. And I just went through an art museum. I saw a lot of weird, creepypasta looking historical paintings and such, which, you know, had these like really grotesque details, and it, you know, looked very realistic, except for the actual scene itself was so unreal. Towers looks like that. It's super high fidelity, gorgeous game, but everything is just so freaking alien, while still obviously like you can see kind of almost where they came from, but there we missed some steps. And I think as we play the game, we'll begin to understand that. And that's why I like playing games, especially playing with other players. You know, these new experiences, gameplay obviously in terms of mechanics, sure, but also the stories that can kind of be told. You know, just hanging out with friends and be like, whoa, this is a thing. Wow, can you see? There's eyeballs out of the sand. Again, you know, like it's just, yeah, this is reaction bait in a lot of ways, but there is definitely some inspiration behind towers. I'm just really excited for big giant monsters, you know, and killing those and then making big old little, you know, kingdoms. But overall, what I'm seeing from the architecture, what I'm seeing from some of the gameplay that we have, you know, witnessed, we don't know much about this game. It's so far off. This is really just an experimental demo. But in the end, what I've seen, which obviously is an experimental demo about a game that is very experimental, I cannot wait for me, myself, and my friends and family, hopefully you guys, to experiment with together. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this genre of building and survival games, you generally have this open world that you want to go around and claim and conquer, obviously, but just experience the raw magic of wonder, wide-eyed, jumping in with friends and, you know, pursuing your dreams from there. Well, this whole game looks like a crazy, surreal dream itself that I want to play with friends. It's the one that goes the biggest, the hardest, the baddest. And I mean, obviously, we got to see more gameplay. We got to see more of this, and all these other games, we got to see more and more and be enriched by all of it, I'm sure. But this is the game that I think has the most experience, or will be the biggest, strangest, newest experience for all of us to experience together. So hopefully, when the time comes, friends and family, you will join me. But that's going to be my list for the best new co-op building and survival games. Some of them have a little bit less on the building, some of them have a little bit less on the survival, but overall, like, this is just a genre that doesn't quite, I think, have a name yet, but we're seeing more and more of, especially in the RPG space. In fact, debatably, you could probably call all of the games on this list co-op survival RPGs or something like that. I don't know, but I'm sure we'll come up with a name sooner or later. But this is just stuff I wanted to talk about. This is stuff that's exciting to me, and well, I don't know. I guess I'm waiting now. Your turn. Tell me, what do you think in the comments below? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Keep the hype alive, and I'll see you again next time.